everybody. This is a bit of a different view, isn't it, from last time? And you can't see the whole of it, but yes, this is a treadmill, and I'll explain everything. I'm also going to try and keep it short, but you know, we've all seen the previous videos, that just doesn't happen. So, I want to talk about shoes, I want to talk about, well, trainers, I want to talk about the treadmill, I want to talk about running outdoors in general, and that links with the treadmill, and I want to talk about recovery from any kind of like mild, not injury, but you know, just where you can tell that something is slightly off. So I mentioned in one of the previous videos that I had some pain in my right foot, ankle, foot, somewhere around there, and then sometimes I would grab that guy and use the crutch just to heal it up. But what it is, like I did tell myself that I was going to treat it as if I had like a stress fracture, or the one that comes before a stress fracture, which I can't remember what it's called, stress bruise or something along those lines, or even like bruise the bone or whatever. And because of like the years of not running, you know, and etc, I've just shaved my head, so it's all like weird, you probably hear that. Yeah, because of all the years of like not running and then going out on the roads and things, because I mentioned as well that, you know, I can jog on the spot indoors for like ages and there's no pain, there's no discomfort, there's no nothing. But you take it out on the road, you know, you've got uneven surfaces, you've got hard ground, and I can't remember exactly, but I think they say that when you're running or jogging, it's something like 3 times your body weight. I think they say that it's like 3 times your body weight is hitting your joints, you know, as you step down, and that's a lot, especially if you're coming into this thing like later in life, because maybe your joints just aren't going to get used to it, you know, they're just not going to get used to it. So I thought to myself, right, look, if I have got a stress bruise or a stress fracture or whatever, then I need to follow the guidelines, which is about 6 to 8 weeks of rest. If you are going to do the exercise, you have to do it very minimal, which, you know, and obviously stop if there's any other pain, etc. But I wanted to buy a treadmill anyway, because, you know, we do live in the UK, it's freezing around here, it's wet, it's, you know, it's horrible, it's windy, and we might get a really nice summer like we did last time with the heat waves, but to be honest, will we? You know, I don't know. So let's say that this will obviously be able to keep me consistent. I'll be able to say 4 times a week or 3 times a week, twice a week, whatever I want to do. Plus as well, now we're going to go onto the treadmill stuff. So when I'm out there on the roads, or when we're out there on the roads and we're doing the 100 metres or the 200 metres, and we go between the lampposts and this, that and the other, you can keep an eye on your speed, etc. Oh, it's a helicopter. Ooh. Well, that is. Right, so you can keep an eye on your speeds and your pace and etc, but you're always doing this, looking at your watch, you know, you're always like that, and then you're like, oh no, I'm slightly slower than I should be, or I'm slightly faster than I should be, I need to adjust. And then when you adjust, you know, you're like, did I do it properly? Have I done too much? Have I not done enough? And there's all these kind of questions. You're trying to work this all out while you're running and looking at your watch at the same time, and you know. So with the treadmill, I can say to myself, I'm going to go at this speed for this amount of time, or that distance, which I'll get to in a minute, you know, and then I know that I've done exactly the same or I can keep an exact record of like distance, speed, etc., all those type of things. Not that we're fussed about speed, we said that, didn't we, before? But yeah, you know, so in a way it's going to help, because it's going to help with the consistency, it's going to help with the kind of, it's just going to kind of like take the random elements away and take away, you know, the corrections of it all and all these things that you have to do when you're out on the road or out on the streets. And it, you know, sometimes, like I say, you're trying to just focus on the one thing. I want to go from here to here, and I want to go, you know, and now I'm going to do it, etc. And but then you think, oh no, I've got to look at my watch. I've got to check this. I've got to check that. I've got to thing. And like I say, the only thing that really is that important at the moment, for me anyway, is the base fitness, which means really I'm just checking the heart rates, because I want to be running in the, some of you might be familiar with the heart rate chart, etc. I'm in the 3 and 4 because I want to be running there, because that's the aerobic exercise. So I'm not fussed about any of that stuff. Now, I did have a go on this. It's quite nice. It's quite soft on the ankle. It's quite, you know, it's quite good. And this one, which is the Reebok I-Run 4.0. That's the model I made. Very nice, actually. You know, I couldn't just go out and afford it in one hit. I had to, you know, find a catalogue that did it with a oh, got itches. It's these jogging bottoms. Very what's the word? Warm. Yeah, so I can pay for it monthly. You know, I'll pay for it over time, so I can afford one, because I couldn't afford one outright. Not a chance. It is a basic model. It's like an entry. Well, not an entry. Might be a like slightly not beginner to medium kind of thing. But the whole family's going to benefit from it, not just me. You know, I'm going to get my kids on here, and it's just going to be amazing. And also with the walking, you know, you can just walk on it. So if you're not going out for the day, it's just chucking down the rain, you want to get your steps in, you know, get on it. And this one as well is set at a 4-degree incline, which doesn't mean a lot to many people. It basically just means you're uphill slightly all the time, like all the time, every step, which is fantastic because it gets the heart rate going faster, so you get to the zone faster and work on your aerobic fitness. But also you just gotta, you know, you just gotta concentrate and be careful. And it's really weird when I first got on it, and I was like running around, and I know that I'm in a room on a moving treadmill, like I know that, but you kind of feel a bit disorientated when you get off. You know, you're kind of like a bit, ooh, what's going on here? Because you think, you know, you go back onto flat ground, and you're like, oh, I'm not moving anymore. It's really weird. It's really weird. So I'm not going to go through all the bits and bobs on here. I'm not going to go through any of that. It's a pretty cool machine though, and I've hardly even scratched the surface with it, to be fair. I've hardly used any of the functions or anything like this. The only thing that's really important is I've got this kill switch here, which I'm going to put onto my t-shirt. It's a kill switch. So if you come off, or you know, something goes wrong, you just pull that and it's like a kill switch and it just turns it off, which is great. And there is some footage that I've added in with me running. I'm going to turn it on in a minute just to show you as well, like the kind of noise of it, etc., that kind of thing. What else did I want to talk about with the treadmill? Oh yeah, it does say you're meant to calibrate treadmills, like with your smartwatch, when you first buy them, just to get the distances matched up. And I did Well, with Garmin, you have to do a mile. Like, you've got to go a mile, and then you see what the readout on the panel says on the treadmill, and you kind of put them together, and it helps to kind of like calibrate it a bit. But it was so out. Like, my watch, I know that the time was right, if you know what I mean. Where I've done the runs before outside, and I know what it takes to get from the lamppost to the lamppost, or how long. If I do, when I said I did the 1,000 meters or the kilometre, I know the time. And plus, you've got GPS outside. You know, your watch goes onto the GPS, syncs in nicely. It's all perfect. Indoors, doesn't sync onto the GPS, so it's like, where are you? And it measures it in a different way. It measures it with like with the step count and your cadence, which is the, you know, like how many times you move your legs in a minute. That statistic. So it measures it slightly different. So to be fair, I'm going to go off what my watch says, because as long as the times match up and it looks fairly accurate, then I'm going to go with it. So if I say I'm going to go on here and I'm going to do 600 meters, or I'm going to try and do the kilometre, I'm going to go by the watch. The watch hasn't let me down yet, so fantastic. What else did I say? I said shoes, didn't I? Or trainers. So I've got two pairs that I will jog in. I've got, see the bottom of them? See these ones? So these are Ultra Rivera 2s. I got them on a Black Friday deal. And I ain't got any money. I ain't got money to throw around. Especially when some of these trainers are like, you know, 150, 200, 250 quid. You know, I ain't going to spend any of that. Because what's the point in that, you know, getting all these fancy trainers when I'm literally popping out for a little jog here and there for enjoyment, for fun. You know, I don't need these extra super carbon plated wow shoes, because who am I racing against? You know, I'm not setting any world records and things, you know, so I don't need any of that kind of technology and design and everything like that. Really, all I need is the comfort. Now with these ones, these Ultras, these Rivera 2s, Ultra, the company, you need to go and research them really. Go and have a look at Ultra and look at their about story, because they are for shoes that don't, kind of conventional shoes and trainers. If you look at them, the toe box will squish your foot, and many people believe that that is wrong, and it's been causing problems for decades now, etc. And we shouldn't be running like that, and we shouldn't be walking like that, you know. But it's just the way society and, you know, fashion, etc., all that kind of thing has changed the way we, you know, buy shoes basically and wear shoes. It's really interesting. So this company will specifically have, if you can see up there, I mean, you can kind of tell it's quite wide up here. Oh, look at my stretching, I'm amazing. It's quite wide up here. Just the whole point of it is that your foot can spread out as you're moving. And I mean, yeah, they're really nice, they're really comfy. And like I say, I got them with a deal, so I managed to get them really cheap on Black Friday deal. And there's another pair of shoes down there, which is a famous running company called Hoka. And I got them on a deal as well, really cheap, because they were a version that is a couple of versions back from the new one. So, you know, they bring out the Hoka, you know, Amaze Balls version 3, etc. And then you go and buy the version 1, and the deals are like amazing, because they're basically they're old stock. So, you know, look around, check everything, and that's where you're going to find your bargains. And then you can find a shoe that will work for you, etc. And like I say, there are so many videos out there on YouTube about buy this shoe, buy that shoe, buy this shoe. One you've got to take into account, which I immediately look for in every decision, is price. you know, like I say, I can't throw money around. I really can't. This is just a bit of fitness. This is like, you know, this is a hobby. It's gonna improve my health, etc. So there's that part to it. So yeah, I don't mind paying a little bit of money and investing in that. But I'm, like I say, I ain't going spending 250 quid on a pair of trainers that basically aren't going to make me run any faster because I'm not good enough in the first place for them to give me that benefit back. You know, so be wise. You know, think about it. Don't fall for all the hype of it all. You know, leave that for you know, when you're watching the marathons on the TV and stuff like that, you know, and you can see what other people are running in. That's fantastic. Just leave it to them because, you know, they get it all free, sponsorships, etc. So, yeah. Right, so, was that everything? I think that was what I said, didn't I? Yeah, obviously, what with the injury, or not the injury, like I said, but what with the foot, it's also going to help as well because it means that I'm going to, like, only be some very light stuff on here, very slow, and I can just constantly look at that speed or control it and the pace, etc. Whatever you want to call it, speed, pace, I can control it perfectly and stop at any second. And it's also going to give me that amount of time that I need to really get a grip on the smoking, the quitting smoking, which, as we know, is very difficult. I've mentioned it in nearly every single video, but it's going alright. It's going alright. It's going well. But it's just, you want to, you know, like I say, there's no point me doing any of this and then just go and then, you know, smoking 20 fags a day or something like that. It's just going to ruin it. It's just not going to go anywhere. I'm basically never going to improve. And that's the main thing, really, is the improvement of the fitness. Right, so so this can measure in miles per hour and kilometres per hour. I've got it in miles. You can change it, but I've got it in miles per hour. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on here. I'm going to go down to Treadmill. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is, give me a second. Right, so just need to get this all set up. So you press this and it just beeps a couple of times, you get a few dials, and then you've got like a play button, and press that and it counts down, and then it will start moving, and it will start moving at 0.6 miles an hour, which is slow, very slow, which is perfect. But it'll give you a chance to hear the, you know, hear the things. So here's the countdown, 2, 1, and now we're moving, as you can see, and that is 0.6 miles an hour, you see. I'll start my watch, okay. There you go, that's it. You know, you can hear my feet going down. You can hear it moving. It's very quiet, it's very quiet. Obviously I have to think of neighbours and this, that and the other, so there's time limits when I'll use it. I'm not going to use it late or early mornings and things like that. I'll keep an eye on that. So what I do now is I'll whack this up to like 2 miles an hour, which is still walking speed, but you'll see, like in the videos that I'm going to add on as well, you'll see how it kind of like changes. And because you're going uphill, you know, you're walking, I think you're walking in a better way. Like, you know, your foot's hitting the floor properly and stuff like that. So, right, let's whack that right up to 2. Right, now we're on 2, you see. It's nice and a bit sturdy, yeah? A bit spicy. You see? 2 miles an hour, but uphill. And if I check my watch, the distances are matching up. Don't expect that to last at all. Yeah? So you can get your nice, like, get your speed going, sit here for as long as you need to, or on that speed. You see? And then you can say, right, now I'm kind of warmed up, got it going on, and then you can keep going. Distance is actually matching up. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Because like I say, what it will do is it will measure arm swing, watch will, measures arm swing and that that kind of thing, cadence, hitting the floor, hitting the belt. That's how it works it all out, you see. And I mean, because you're going uphill as well, like this is only 2 miles an hour, but if you wanted to put a little jog on, you see, you put a little jog on. It's going to help the heart rate as well, you see. It's only 85 at the moment, it's not high. But you can just do this for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. Give yourself that little bit of a workout. See, now the speed has completely matched, 2 miles an hour. So I'm moving as I should be. Distances are the same. Fantastic. Yeah? It's pretty good, isn't it? That's actually quite good. I'm impressed with that. You see? So there you go. That's pretty much it. Then you just press your button, 2.1 mile an hour, 2.2. You see? Walk. If you're walking, you've really got to concentrate. Yeah? If you're doing your jogging thing, you can think of it. No pain, legs feel alright. Okay, that's 2.5. If you still walk, you really got to go for it. Yeah? And then run, jog, whatever. I'll show you the kill switch. To say it all goes wrong, or you just want to just sting. Done, see? You shouldn't really, you like if you're going to do that, you're going to come to a stop. But you can just press the button and it will slow it down. Like, better. Unplug. So there you go. Okay, I'll stop there. I will save that. Might as well. You can see, you know, so it's helping as well, because you can regulate your breathing, helps with all that. So it's, you know, it's fantastic. Just save that. There you go, saved. I think I've got up to about 100 and something, 100 and something on the heart rate. They say, didn't they, you're meant to be able to hold a conversation when you're doing the easy pace. So, but yeah, there you have it. And, you know, so like I say, what I'll do is, so those distances matched up quite well there. I was quite impressed with that, as opposed to last time when it was way off. So I think what I'll do is I'll do what I've been doing. So because what I'll do on this one is I'll do the 100, and then I'll do the 100 and keep going. And then if the point there where I think, right, that's it, I'll just whack the speed down and just do the bit of walking, you know, and then just keep going, like, don't stop. Because I was always doing that anyway. I didn't like to go out there and I didn't like to stop. And like when you see these people who've really like caned it and they're like on their knees like this, like that, I never kind of like wanted to get to that, or not wanted to get to that point, but never wanted to do all this. I'd rather just keep moving, you know, just stop and walk type of thing, or slow down and walk. So what's that saying now? Oh, it's 109 on the heart, so that's still coming down, obviously. But yeah, that was really quick. It's like, what, 4 or 5 minutes up there? You do that for 10, 20, get the nice speed. You know, don't worry about anything else, because it's literally 0.1 of a mile an hour, which, if you know, if we were out there on the street and we were jogging together or running together, whatever, and like, right, let's go at 5 miles an hour. One, I'm going to get it wrong, because I'm going to get it wrong. And then, you know, and then we were like, oh yeah, on this next one, on this next lamppost, let's knock it up to, I said 5 miles an hour, didn't I? I don't know why I said that. I won't run at 5 miles an hour. Yes, so say we were doing like 3 miles an hour or something like that, which is jogging at walking speed basically. You know, and then we both said to each other, oh yeah, let's knock it up to 3.2. Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna get that right and keep it consistent through that whole thing? You know, very professional or very, very focused runners will do that. Whereas I now have a button here, and this button is going to be, you know, and then this is going to work. So we're going to keep it going, like I say. And foot feels okay. You know, it was down this side, up there type of thing, which is like a lot of the stress fractures or stress bruises because of where you're pounding the pavement, etc. Repetition, and stuff like that. So like I say, but now I'm being very clever. I'm being very strict with myself about recovering, taking that time as well. Because I had it before, didn't I? If you remember in one of the videos, mentioned it before in one of the videos, and I can guarantee, 100% that I would have said to myself, oh, it doesn't hurt today, that means I'm better, I'm going out for a jog. Because that's what we all do, don't we? Let's face it, we all do that. We all say, yeah, I feel better, I'm going out, you know, I'm better now, I'm going to do that. You're not better at all. You're telling yourself you're better because you just don't want to lay around and, you know, be ill. You want to be better. So that's like I say, so that didn't hurt. I went straight back out, did another few jogs, did whatever, and didn't give it enough chance to heal. Problem came back. So this time, like I say, everything is controlled, everything is done, you know, indoors, etc. Right, there you have it. I hope you've had a thing. Like I say, I kind of will do maybe more of a review, possibly, in the future. But I don't actually know if I'm going to use all the functions and you know, kind of like, I mean, the max speed on this is something like 10 miles an hour, 16 kilometres an hour, something like that. And to be fair, I don't think I'm ever going to reach those dizzying heights of things like that. Maybe like this, put my hands on here and, you know, hover above it. But we have had it up that speed, like we've whacked it up so we can see the belt turning around and that is quick. So yeah, but for the moment, fantastic. It's going to be kind of like, I think it's the kind of middle addition that was needed on the whole fitness program, if you kind of see what I mean. Like I say, jogging on the spot, fantastic, but again, you can kind of, you know, you're like, oh, am I really like getting as much benefit out of this as I could be? Could I lift my knees higher? Could I go faster? Could I do this, you know, more cardio kind of based, etc., more like aerobic based, etc. And then of course out on the road, you're kind of, like I say, there's other issues that you have to think of when you're out in the road, not keeping the speed and all these other things, and the terrain you're on. You know, even though you're running on a flat path, or the pavement's slightly like, you know, this kind of thing, and it all affects. It just affects everything. You know, especially when you are of an older age or a mature age and your body's not used to it. It's going to affect it. Don't need to be a scientist or a running coach or whatever to know that, because you just know what your body's telling you. Right, sure that was everything. Yeah, no, I think that was everything. Right, okay. I'm going to go and do this. As you know, I don't really put a lot of editing into this. I just leave everything as it is and chuck it out, warts and all. And today will be no different whatsoever. I'm going to go and have a nice, actually, there's a cup of tea right in there. Nice cup of tea waiting for me there. Probably chuck a bit of lunch and get this uploaded as soon as possible. So there you go. But yeah, for like I say, from the so jogging at home, jogging outside, nice middle ground where kind of the benefits of everything come together. I think this is where this is going to be placed, if you know what I mean. That's where it's going to find its worth, right there. Okay, I will see you all next time. The dizzying speeds of I don't know what. I'm sure it'll be something. See you later. Good.